How you doing, fam bam? What we have here is the best RAM that you can get in 2022. We have finally been introduced to DDR5, which was introduced late of 2021 last year, which is a complete game changer. Even though DDR5 is released, DDR4 is still widely used. So DDR4 will still have room in this top list because it's still powerful in its own right. But if you're already on a platform such as Intel's socket LGA 1700 or Intel's 12th generation, or you plan on building a brand new PC that is based on AM5's new platform, then more than likely you're probably going to go with DDR5. And right now you're just watching this list to get a good idea of what kind of RAM that you can get your hands on, especially when you are trying to future-proof your build or you're trying to get the best that you can get. There are some pretty important factors that you are looking for, especially when you are purchasing RAM. You want to look at exactly how much capacity that you are planning to use, how fast the memory speed is, and how the timing and how the latency is for your PC. If you're into overclocking, more than likely it's a good idea to look at what type of dies that they use, because that will also help determine if the RAM is readily available to overclock. When I do create a video more specifically on RAM, I will make sure to put a card right above my head so you can check it out, so that way you have better in-depth explanation of exactly what RAM can do. But this video isn't about that, so that's why we're going straight to the best RAM that you can get your hands on in 2022. But make sure you check down the link down below, as I have all the hardware that you may be interested. Gskill's Trident Z Neo DDR4 at 3600 megahertz. It's really one of the best RAMs that you can get for DDR4. If you're on Zen 3, or if you're on Intel's LGA 1200 still, or maybe you did purchase Intel's 12th gen, some of their motherboards do feature DDR4, this RAM might be right for you. And if you're wondering if G.Skill does use Samsung's B dies, they do. So it does have plenty of a chance to overclock. With the awesome CAS latency of 16, it is one of the perfect combinations to get when you do purchase DDR4 memory. You can currently pick it up for $174.99 at current market price. Next, I gotta mention Gskill's Trident Z5 at 6000 megahertz. As DDR5 is becoming more readily available, now is really the time to seize the moment and purchase the RAM before AM5 does get released, or if you already have Intel's 12th generation chipsets where you have a motherboard that supports DDR5, this is a great RAM set to take a look at. Just as I mentioned previously about Gskill's DDR4 memory with the Trident Z Neos, Gskill does not let go of using their high quality dies, and they remain to still use their B dies even on their DDR5 memory, which can give you even more potential, pushing even further than 6000 megahertz, as crazy as that seems. The great thing about Gskill's Z5s, there is no type of memory delay when it comes to memory hungry software and applications. The 6000 megahertz is timed pretty well, as the CAS latency on their DDR5 memory is up to 40. Gskill's Trident Z5's 6000 megahertz are currently at $279.99 at current market price. Next, I gotta mention Team's Tforce Extreme ARGB 32GB. Tforce is a well-known company that focuses on their players and performance when it comes to PCs. Tforce is one of the best RAM companies out there because they have their own R&D team that focuses on their own IC chips. Their RAM has always been very stable, durable, and it has been reliable. Their ARGBs uses optics. It reflects the light throughout the RAM module, which gives it a very visual and stunning image. Tforce does also support overclocking, so it's great for you enthusiasts out there who do want a DDR4 memory upgrade. The 3600 megahertz model does use 1.45 volts, which is a little high, and its CAS latency is about 14, but for the amazing price for $261.99 USD at current market price. Next, I gotta mention Gskill. Yes, Gskill again, because they really have some great memory. Because Gskill's Z5, once again, but this is going to be on their 64 gigabyte memory modules, as it has up to 5600 megahertz of memory speed. Reason why I have to bring it up again, because this tops out on the 6000 megahertz one, as I mentioned earlier, and that's because the latency is much more better when it comes to their 5600 megahertz version. What I didn't mention earlier is it does have heat sinks on the RAM modules, so it helps dissipate heat a lot easier, and it does increase performance because it can help it stay cooler, which will act more reliable. It will help memory performance with data transfers to an improved design for power efficiency. And the reason why DDR5 was created is because it was meant to be more reliable, because the voltages can go much lower compared to DDR4. This is a great option, especially if you're a gamer or a creator. G.Skill's IC chips are also built for overclocking. As I mentioned earlier, they do use Samsung's B dies. This will be at the 5600 megahertz for 64 gigabytes memory modules, and you can currently pick it up for $579.99, which is a little bit pricey, but definitely worth it if you are trying to future-proof your PC. Next, I gotta mention Gskill's RipJaws 5 series. And yes, I promise this is the last time I'll mention Gskill. Even though it is a very basic module, for anybody that are not ARGB fans, this might be the RAM module you'll be looking for, because not only is its timing is impeccable, the performance is really well, the latency is low, and the one I am mentioning specifically is their 3200 megahertz memory speed. If you want to make sure you check down in the description box down below. And Gskill, it has a very well-known reputation when it comes to PC gaming and its performance. Its CS latency is about 16. The Gskill RipJaws 5 series does come in different colors. It doesn't only come in black, it does have white, blue, red, and it has all different colors that you can select from. Currently, it is a great price, and that's why it's one of the top ones I had to mention, as you can currently get it for $99.99 USD at current market price. Next, I gotta mention Corsair's Dominators RGBs DDR5 5200 megahertz RAM modules. Corsair is one of the best RAM modules you can get currently with DDR5 when it comes to your AM5 or your Intel 12th generation platforms. This is a great option if you're looking to future-proof your PC with its incredibly low latency of C36. With the power of Intel 12th generation and AM5 platforms, you'll be moving way faster than ever before, especially when it comes to rendering. Corsair is known for making some of the best ARGBs out there in the market, and it's really easy to control with using their software such as IQ. Corsair's Dominators ARGBs does have heat spreaders on there, and it's really well designed to where you don't really notice it. You can currently get this RAM module set for $299.99 USD at current market price. Next, I gotta mention Corsair Vengeance RGB SL Pros. DDR4 still has a very high spot in this list, and there's a few reasons for that. Because if you're looking for performance today and you still are running on a Zen 3 processor, or if you're using a LGA 1200 board, then this might be the way to go for you. It still performs very well, it's reliable, and the latency is amazing. Corsair made the SLs lower in height at 44 millimeters, so it doesn't take up as much space on your motherboard. And don't worry, just because it is lower in height doesn't mean it cannot dissipate heat. It dissipates heat very well. As Corsair does run some of the best ARGBs on the market, it does also use IQ software, where it is easy to control for any of the colors that you so choose to. Corsair's Vengeances also uses Samsung's B dies. So for you enthusiasts out there who are looking for overclocking, you can also do it with this very RAM module set. You can get Corsair's Vengeance's SL Pros RAM modules for $142.99 at current market price. Make sure to check it out in the description box down below, as I have all the RAM modules down there. I hope you found this content very useful. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you know anyone who is looking for RAM, especially in 2022, make sure you share this very video with them. And also make sure you go down to hit the subscribe button for more, to join the big wonderful fan bam. And also don't forget to hit the notification bell. And for all the newest updates, make sure to follow my Twitter handle right here, as it is the same as my IG and TikTok as well. Fan bam guys, what do you think of today's RAM modules? Do you have any specific favorites that you would like to share that I didn't mention in this video? And please explain why, because I love hearing from you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Chris Mizo, signing out.